Hello family, Darlene A here, entrepreneur, personal and professional development consultant, author, and your social media friend. And this is Work Wednesdays with me, Darlene A. All right fam, we've been discussing a lot throughout the past couple of weeks. We've been discussing seeing where you want to be, claiming that you're a winner, being your biggest cheerleader, self-care, people-pleasing. We just took everything, put it all in, and then just seasoned it and let it out, right? I invite you to go back and check out those videos. On today, I want to just focus a little bit more on what I discussed on this past Monday. And that was putting on a hat, taking off, putting on a hat, taking off. In short, we discussed prioritizing and no matter what is around you, focusing on the goal. And that leads back to distractions, which we talk about often, and prioritizing. I wanted to come out and speak a little bit more about that, specifically what that does as it relates to self-care. I never want to assume that it's easy for people to prioritize, to mentally focus despite what's going on around them. It's easy for me for a number of reasons, but then it also has its downsides. And I wanted to come out and speak to some of those downsides today. As I stated in my prior video, I've always had the ability to focus, be laser focused on an objective. But the origin of that hasn't always been good. And I'm going to share a little bit with you guys today if I can. Because what? Sharing is caring. And I know that this is a safe space for me to be transparent because my testimony is someone else's breakthrough. Growing up, I had an amazing childhood. I was loved. I had two amazing parents. I had siblings. Life was good despite being in a impoverished community. We lived our best lives. Growing up during a time when kids can play outside in the park, you could trust your neighbors, the ice cream truck came regularly, and we lived within a diverse community. As I stated, life was good. But the other side of that was I lived in a duality. Although I had an amazing childhood, I was also a victim of psychological, emotional, and physical abuse. And I didn't even understand that until I was well into my 20s. Being a victim of those forms of abuse put me in a place where I literally, on a day-to-day basis, had to compartmentalize feelings, emotions, thoughts, because it was one extremity to the next. I went from being happy to being angry. I went from being hugged to being beat for just minor things. As a result of that duality on a daily basis and living in a kind of a roller coaster orientation mentally, what I learned to do was put things in the back of my mind that didn't serve me any good and only focus on what would serve me well. And that meant getting a job, going to college, getting out of the house, focusing on being around people that were positive, that made me happy. That was how I compartmentalized the different things that I experienced in my childhood. Now, the beautiful thing about that is I'm an amazing professional. I'm goal-oriented. I'm able, as I always say, to zone in and allow other things to just be tuned out, right? And I'm able to speak to my clients about that. The same thing that I experienced. That's a beautiful thing. And it's helped me academically, it's helped me socially, it's helped me professionally. But the downside to it is there are things in my head that I have to bring to the surface and kind of just work my way through it so that I can purge it. And that's been hard. I can't let it stay there. So when I speak about focusing and being laser focused, it's not to negate the things that you're going through. It's to say, okay, maybe I need a counselor. Maybe I need a life coach. Maybe I need to speak to a pastor. Maybe I need to speak to authorities because this is not normal and I don't have to live like this. But I also understand that I can't let this suck me in and take my joy and keep me away from my destiny. So in essence, that is a duality just the same. I've come to realize that Having a counselor, and I speak about this in my prior videos, ongoingly, and going back to that childhood Darlene and really talking about those things and freeing that young girl that I have locked away in different parts of my mind. And when I say compartmentalize, I literally mean having folders of different things in your head. This is my childhood. This is adolescence. This is the 20s. This is the 30s. This is where I have to be every day. Like, that's literally how I have gone through life. And I'm now in a safe space where I'm able to sit with someone and go back and say, I was hurt then. It wasn't nice. It wasn't normal. But I'm okay now. And I'm not going to let that be my reality. I'm not going to bring that to other people. I'm not going to be withdrawn because I don't trust. I'm not going to be mean because I think that you're going to hurt me. I'm not going to gossip about you because I think maybe that there's something about you that I admire and I don't know how to say it. So I say negative things about you. I'm not going to do those things. And I'm definitely not going to let that spill into the next generation that's going to come forth after me. So I wanted to come out and share these things because compartmentalization has its pros and it has its cons. But the one thing I will say is that you deserve a safe space where you can go, sit, speak to somebody, feel again safe, go into those file cabinets in your mind and the things that don't serve you any well in the world, prepare to purge them and move forward in a healthy way. I hope my sharing has helped someone else. If you feel that you are in need of clinical services, I invite you to follow up with Psychology Today. The link is at the bottom. And speak to someone in your community, someone in your health network, someone that you feel that you can relate with, and be on your way to a greater you in every way. If you made it this far in the video, I appreciate you. I ask that you like, share, and subscribe, and click that notification bell so you will be in the know of the latest happenings as they are happening. Take care.